Hi, I'm Quinn Redeker. Welcome to PoliceMotorTraining.com. Today we're going to talk about the keyhole at speed. The concept with this is control under braking. Okay, so I've had a handful of guys, fast guys, have me review some videos, and we've talked about some patterns. And one of the things I notice is people tend to go from one section of a pattern to another, and they kind of start it and end it, and then they finish, and then they set, and they do the next one. And one of the things that I'm recommending is let's see if we can't accelerate and connect those patterns and move from one to the next under speed so that we're maneuvering into the new pattern under braking. A couple things I talk about are trail braking and rapid transitions and a clutch throttle setup. It's going to require all these things and a few other little tips and tricks to really make this meaningful. But what I have here is I have two keyhole patterns. They're separated 60 feet apart. Now the keyhole is this little chute right here is 10 feet long. It's 5 feet wide. And then this circle is an 18-foot circle. An 18-foot circle in and of itself isn't really necessarily challenging. But what we're going to try to do with this is I've set two of them apart because what I want us to start practicing is coming into this thing at speed. Rather than saying, okay, I'm going to drive in here, hit my brakes, and then once I'm here, I'm set, and now I'm going to execute my circle. No, that's not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here as fast as we can and set up so we take full advantage of the space that we have, and we walk through this. That's a loud train. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like, and we're going to kind of talk about technique-related stuff while we do it. I'm going to be coming into this chute at speed, okay? One of the things I talk about is the old Canadian chicane shimmy. So what does that mean? Well, I want to take advantage of the practical space that I have to execute this 18-foot circle. So I'm going to move my bike over here as approximately 5 feet prior to dropping into this 18. So what that's going to look like is I'm going to come in here, and you're going to see the bike dive over and dive in, and I'm going to come in here at an angle. Now, once I'm here, keep in mind I'm coming in at speed. So that means I'm already on the brakes as I come in here, all right? And in addition to already being on the brakes, now that I'm starting to come into this section, I'm setting up my clutch throttle. So let's talk about what's happening. We are driving in here. We've moved the bike over to this side. We're on the brakes. We're setting up our clutch throttle. And now we're going to try to go as far over here as we can prior to dropping and executing this circle. One of the challenges with something like this as you pick up speed is momentum accomplishes a couple things, and momentum under braking accomplishes even more. Effectively, the faster I'm going to go into here, the more my bike's going to want to just keep that trajectory, stay straight up and down, it's stable. Now, if I'm coming in here at speed and I have brakes on, it's really going to be a stable platform. And at that point to say, okay, now we're going to start executing some turning maneuvers, the bike's like, no, we're going that way, and we got the brakes on. This thing's about as stable as you can get it. So that's going to be one of the challenges you're going to find. The bike does not want to drop in the faster we go. And we're going to need to, because as we pick up speed, we're talking about distance and time. As we pick up momentum, dropping in over here is going to become harder and harder because the faster we're going, we're eating up more real estate, right? So if we don't knock this out pretty quick, we're going to start trying to turn from somewhere out here, and there's just no way we're going to make this pattern. So that's where rapid transitions come in. So, as I said, I'm leaned over, I'm on the brakes. Once I get the clutch throttle set up, now that I'm in here, I'm going to go full lock right very quickly and transition. I'm going to use my feet to try to throw that bike over, full lock left, and then pick up my exit. Where am I looking? Where am I going? So when I come out of here, I'm not too far over here, and I'm going to clip this cone. Again, this all happens pretty quick, but ultimately, you want to be as far over this way on your exit as you can get so that we get as straight a shot out of here as possible, right? So now we drive out of here. Hard. Okay, we're moving. Same thing. I'm going to start setting up over here so that I can swing out over here. Let's bring you a little closer. And now, same thing. I'm dropped over here. I don't want to hit this cone, but I need to get over to this side of this pattern as much as I can because that's going to make this thing faster and easier. The challenge is the faster I go into this pattern, again, we're eating up more real estate in a quicker period of time. So it becomes harder to really drop in here. As I was warming up and practicing this and really trying to push my times, eventually I just started blowing out of this thing and shooting way out of the pattern. So yeah, an 18-foot circle is easy, but as you pick up momentum, it becomes infinitely more challenging. So one of the things I want to mention, balance ball. Make sure you're staying on top of this bike the whole time, because if you start trying to do this as you pick up speed, sometimes you can lose a little bit of traction. Because think about what we're asking the tires to do now. We're saying, okay, slow down and change direction. So we're asking those tires to accomplish two separate tasks. And anytime you split that, it becomes less effective at either one of those. So you need to be cognizant of that. We're slowing and we're turning, okay? Okay, so I'm going to ride through here. I'm going to ride through here with a little bit of momentum, because the whole concept here is that you need a little bit of speed so that you're coming in on brakes. I'll try to pick it up a little bit. This is tricky because as you got a lot going on, so as you start picking up the pace, your odds of hitting things increase. So just keep that in mind. This would be one of those drills where on practice day I would really push and I might hit stuff and then kind of tone it down a little bit on race day. All right, so what do we say? Come in at speed, little chicane shimmy on the brakes, set up clutch throttle, hammer full lock to the right for that quick jog to get the bike over that way, and then back full lock left, get my head around, pick up my exit point, and drive out of the hole, okay? Balance ball, stay on top of the bike. Here we go. Chicane shimmy on the brake, early clutch throttle, and hammer out. A little jog is probably one of the most important things you can do coming out of here. Okay, that little jog makes all the difference. Chicane shimmy on the brake, snap the bars around, early clutch throttle. Be careful hitting stuff on your way out. It was a late head turn. All right, that's about it. All right, that's it. There's a sheet on policemotortraining.com where I cover kind of all the pieces of that, as well as troubleshooting what you might be doing right, might be doing wrong. Just be careful. Start slow. It can get sketchy, okay? I do have on there a challenge. As I mentioned, these keyholes are 60 feet apart. So there's a cool challenge that I put together. And I'm going to lay down my fastest run here in a minute. And I'll post that up for all you guys to... we can all put our money where our mouths are, right? All right. If you have any questions, please go to policemotortraining.com. Hit me up. And I hope you enjoyed this. Start working on breaking into the patterns, carrying momentum into the patterns. It'll speed things up for you.